Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for April 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your monthly reading for April. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. Also, as I shuffle the cards, I will let you know of all the planetary alignments and the energy that is available for you to tap into this month. But if you really don't want to hear it, please fast forward until I show you your first card, okay? Let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know regarding April 2025? Can you please show them the way? What's in store? Well, April has literally sprung upon us and we have officially started a new astrological year. The sun has moved into the sign of fiery Aries, so it's time to embrace your inner rebel and expect your energy levels to rise. Now, over the last couple of months, we have truly been dealing with some very challenging energy, but the eclipses are over for now, and Mercury and Venus are turning direct by mid-month, leading to a very rare occurrence where all planets are direct, which personally means it's full steam ahead. Obstacles dissolve faster, complicated energy untangles itself with a total alignment for brighter things to come. Things become more manageable during this period, so if you've been struggling with anything, this is a great problem-solving month to move ahead. Look at that. Now, how would you like to receive? Okay, so we have the Emperor. I'm not surprised to see the Emperor for your energy because your 10th house is influencing you at the beginning of the month. So really you are locked on to your projects. It is business as usual, but I definitely see here some amplifying of success, but we'll tap into that in a moment. I want you to be aware that April is a payoff month for previous hard work as well, and it really sets you up with opportunities to level up and shine. Now, the greatest of rewards can reach you during this period to set you up nicely for the rest of the year as you take charge of your life, lead with passion, creatively embrace hobbies as well, and set your sights high whilst boldly striding towards accomplishing your goals. And that Emperor energy is really going to help you do that. Now, this month, it's the month to get assertive, to carve out the life that you've been manifesting and set yourself up for positive change. Now, of course, we have Saturn and Venus conjunct Rahu, the North Node. And this is pretty intense. It really is a big deal as it has not occurred since 1968. And we only need to look back at that period in time to understand some of the challenges that the world faced or witnessed to really realize what similarities we may encounter ahead. But on a personal level, you know, expect some serious soul searching about where you see your future heading and where you feel like you belong. Now, Saturn will be really strict with you and it will force you to take a long, hard look at where you aspire to be. And also, it'll help you put plans in motion to be on track. You know, it will help you break free from challenging karma. Saturn delivers consequences for negative actions and rewards for positive ones. And Venus, however, will make sure that you're making the right decisions to do what you love from your heart space to harmonize and take the edge off that karmic exchange. So you may actually find that you're making some serious life-affirming decisions during the month of April. And the universe will offer fated opportunities and connections to make things happen for your highest good. Now, Neptune has moved into the sign of Aries, and this is a transition that literally takes 165 years to complete. So it really is a fresh new cycle. However, with all this fiery energy whizzing about suddenly, there is a potential for the odd clash or argument. Now, people tend to get a little bit tetchy during this period, so it's really important to channel your energy into pursuit pursuits that fulfill your needs or purpose. Otherwise, it can lead to a bit of frustration. And Neptune, the planet of inspiration, influences you to concentrate on your dreams and goals. Partnered with the high-octane passion of Aries season, it makes sure that you are productive, take action, remain focused, and leave any temptation to procrastinate in the dust. And you've got the Devil card in the resistance position, so I definitely see you're not procrastinating this month. I don't feel like you tend to anyway, but you're definitely not doing it this month. Now, I want you to be aware as well that we have the super new moon in the sign of Taurus on the 27th of April, and this attracts new money, encouraging new money-making ideas, tax rebates or financial rebates, compensation, small increases in money, even bonuses to manifest in your life. You will literally leave April feeling really proud of all that you've accomplished and look forward to all that is to come. Now, Venus has also been retrograding until now, so if you've been feeling that languishing malaise recently, then this season will jolt you back into rediscovering your playful side, to seek out new adventures, whether you want to meet a soulmate, go traveling, find a soul tribe friend for life. You know, this is the time where strong relationships are formed, and existing relationships are also given a reboot of excitement as you dust off any humdrum energy. Now, you may feel more flamboyant, bold, daring, and the universe responds by sending opportunities your way to literally enhance your life experience this month. Now, also on a global scale, and please fast forward this part if you really don't want to hear it, but Neptune in Aries, it often mixes a whiff of evolution and revolution to the air. You know, the collective awaken greater during these periods, and it's time for shattering long-standing illusions, exposing secrets, scandals, redacted documents come to light, and hidden information is revealed, even highlighting where areas are broken to push for societal change. And strikes, boycotts in various industries could, be uprising during this period, and even a push for fairer working conditions or even pushbacks on technology, cornering the market to limit the chaos of redundancies and severances. Pluto's opposition to Mars on the 26th of April might also add some bumpy energy to expose hidden financial truths that really need course correcting, especially with the trade frictions right now as well. And we could also see a triggering of an unexpected power struggle, increasing a domino effect of conflict there too. Now, we do have major solar flares to contend with during Aries season, which is already triggering unusual, unseasonal weather events, as well as increasing seismic and volcanic activity. This may briefly impact the travel industry at some point over the next coming weeks and months, as well as the usual power outages. It does seem like every day we're hearing about major shifts all over the world, which I did foresee in my channel messages last year. I underlined that 2025 is a year of fire and water, and we're seeing that across the board right now. I do see a significant event where marine life unusually beach, indicating a major tectonic restructure, and this involves an underwater volcano. Okay, I keep talking about it because the visions keep coming to me stronger, and always look to the animal kingdom for behavior because they are instinctively reacting before the world shifts. They know something that we don't know. So look to that. The earth, of course, it moves all the time to remove pressure. Okay, and this is a global awakening of tectonic plates. We can already see it. It's a restructure, and symbolic perhaps of humanity's restlessness with the way things are right now. Everything is energy, and the pressure is really on, and the shifts of change are upon us to forge new landscapes. But on a personal level, let's bring it back to that energy. This month ushers in a fresh new feel. Expect like a flurry of activity, events, invitations, festivals, opportunities to keep you on your toes as you actively, keep your life moving forward whilst having fun along the way. It's a perfect time to trailblaze adventurous pathways to all that you desire. So let's tap in to see what is going on for you. And you're really governed by your houses this month. I can see it so strongly. You've got the Emperor energy, which is connected to your 10th house energy. That's all about ambition. Now, ambition doesn't have to be in career. It can be like you having the energy, the drive, the motivation, the strength, the knowledge, the talent, and wisdom to get stuff done. Any project you're going to finish, your tasks are, your responsibility. Basically, the Emperor is responsibility, and the World card means you're very goal-oriented this month. So I definitely see here that you're establishing a reputation as being someone who walks their talk, basically. And you've also got the Fool. And the Fool is connected to your 5th house, which is influencing you at the end of the month. You want to kick back, relax. This is the pursuit of pleasure. So it's really about letting your hair down and going out, having fun, accepting those invitations, you know, coming out of your comfort zone to launch new things as well. So this is a month where you may be connecting to your hobbies as well as like doing business as usual. I mean, this card, it is your protagonist energy. So it does tell me that the beginning of April, you're all about your responsibilities, okay? You're focused on your financial strategy. You're looking at, you know, your 401k, your pension. You're looking at your savings, maybe even repayment plans, taking down debt, for example, moving money around. You've got that 9 of coins, 9 of cups, hello, you know, double 9, 9 of pentacles and 9 of cups. This is about you wishing for financial freedom and then taking the steps to make it happen. Okay, so a lot of you could be squirreling away to find new information or even discover somebody who's got some really great knowledge regarding, you know, money, because 9 of pentacles there, this is you focusing on being disciplined and, you know, sticking to your plans and solidifying foundations in order to create material security in your world. But also it indicates that you're having a bit of a glow up. So with that Devil card in the resistance position, some of you could treat yourself this month to a little something something because you worked really hard for it. I mean, you're worth it, totally worth it. Okay, so I feel, of course, you're going to be saving your finances. This is your intention. We have the World card and the Hermit there as well. Some of you with the Emperor and the Hermit, you could feel very alone in your responsibilities. It's really tough out there at the moment. And, you know, you could be like looking at where you feel like you belong. And with the Fool card, I see that something that you really enjoy that is so connected to either a hobby or something that's really fun, you could actually meet a person who is a little bit older than you, but you become friends for life. Okay, so if you have been searching for your soul tribe, this is a great month for you to go out and do something for you that really, you know, you're going to enjoy. And you actually get talking to a person, and I feel this person becomes your buddy, like for life is what I'm seeing there, or a bestie, for example. But this Emperor energy, you know, the history of the Emperor card, there used to be a Fool in the background of the card, which reminded the Emperor that yes, you've got a lot going on. You're building your empire. You are paying your bills. You are making sure that you remain in charge of your life and keep it running smoothly. But don't forget about fun. Don't forget about the playful side of yourself, because some of you may feel that life got really serious recently. And of course it has. The world is in a very, you know, fragile position right now, let me put it that way. But I feel like you're trying to kind of lock onto your goals and zoom in a little bit more to the things that help you move forward in life, because right now, I feel like you are limiting distractions. But also with this Emperor energy, it means you're taking charge. You're like holding yourself to account. And because we have the Devil card there, now the Devil card can literally mean your energy. You know, it is a Capricorn card. So it can be that some of you have not been feeling yourself for a long time because it is in the resistance position. So you're reconnecting to a part of yourself that brings you joy. You're reconnecting to a passionate side of yourself, or, you know, you're following your pathway towards a passionate endeavor. But it can also indicate that you're being a little bit stricter with yourself with that Emperor energy, that you're cutting out things that make you feel low energy or drain your energy. You know, this can be a detoxifying card when it's in the resistance position. So you're removing yourself from toxic situations, people, drama, you know, you're even decluttering your body, mind, and, you know, your immediate circumstances. You may be looking at food substances that drain you or don't help you focus, for example. You know, you're literally looking at things that you need to detox from. And if it's something that's been hard to cut out, I really feel this month you're free of it. You're like, nope, not doing it anymore. I feel like you're getting serious on something and you're locking it down. There's time to play and have fun, of course, throughout the month. There's a lot of potential, but some of you may be trying to launch something or, you know, move forward with something, and you just don't want anything to distract you. So that's why I feel like you're getting a little bit serious with yourself with this card. Now, of course, the Emperor energy is a wonderful energy because it means, you know, there's achievement. You're someone who is headstrong, you're reliable, you're showing up for yourself. And I feel like, you know, you're locked on to your wishes. 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. A lot of you are going to get some sort of information on something that either you have applied for or something that you have been learning about. It could be educating yourself to a really high degree, informing yourself. I feel like you're getting a wish, or you're getting some sort of news from an official governing body, something that you have been wishing for, something that you've been working for. I mean, for some of you, it could be a permit, it could be a visa, could be like, you know, some sort of extension on something. For some of you, it could be like that you're launching your own business. This is an entrepreneurial card. It could be that you're structuring your business in a certain way where you want to migrate it overseas with that world card energy. For some of you, this is you also kind of like making sure that you remain locked on your goals, because that's when you can have free time, when you schedule your life in a certain way that's more time efficient. So I feel a lot of this energy is like, what are you wishing for? Financial freedom. You know, also, Nine of Cups can be that you're hydrating yourself, and the Nine of Pentacles can be that, you know, you're detoxifying and therefore you're having a glow up. Nine of Pentacles is one of the most attractive cards in the deck. It connects to beauty. It connects to beauty routines and being regimental with it. So, you know, my readings are not about aesthetics, but I definitely see here that you've been strict, or you're adhering to some sort of routine or structure, because the Emperor is all about structure, and it's going to work really well for you at the beginning of the month there, and you're going to see the benefits of all that hard work. So if you've been hitting the gym, for example, or you've been in training, or you've been approaching your diet in a different way, or you've cut something out, or you've just removed yourself from a toxic person or situation, or even a toxic environment, some of you could literally be leaving a job in the month of April because you're setting up your own practice. You know, this could be that you're going solo. Whenever you apply, you know, a hermit and an emperor energy to a reading which is connected to being in business, for example, that means you're going solo. You have the knowledge to do this by yourself and run your own show. Let's put it that way. So, of course, the monthly, I'm going to see in a moment, but I just see that your reputation is increasing for being someone who is knowledgeable, someone who has experience in the industry that you work in. And I feel like there is like a fresh new start here. So if you are working in a toxic environment and you're putting your resume out there, looking for opportunities, I definitely see here you hit your target. You know, you get your goal, which is to like move somewhere else, move into a new opportunity. And I feel like it's a very, very senior role. Okay, a lot of you with that Emperor energy, especially if you're in a career, you may feel like you've hit a plateau and you can't really move up through the ranks. So I feel like you are getting a more senior position with that hermit energy, but it may require you to work alone, or it may require you to have not much contact with other people. So, you know, it's lonely at the top. You know, if you're becoming a boss of people, it can be that they kind of like distance themselves from you, or they see you as like a different entity. So therefore they're like, okay, they're not going to like talk to you the way that they would their colleagues, for example. So you may just notice a difference or a shift. Could be that you're moving into a new office, or you hear of a restructure going on in your industry, and you know, people are being moved around. It could be that maybe there's an office refurb, and you know, your desk is being moved somewhere that's a little bit like away from others, which is nice because it limits distractions, but some of you may feel a little bit like ostracized or out of the loop. So it's important to keep yourself integrated, because this is a card of integration, okay? Now, of course, if you're already an entrepreneur, I definitely see here that some of you could be changing a style or trialing something new, launching something new in the month of April there. I'm seeing it April, May, so it could be the end of the month there for you. I see it going global, whatever this is. So whether there's a product or something online, I feel a lot of people see it. It's fresh, it's new, it's innovative, and I feel that, you know, a lot of people really enjoy it. Some of you, it feels like you're attracting both a younger market as well as a more mature market. I feel like you're catering to all, whatever that means. So that's something that's very specific. It's coming out. If it is a product, it's coming out for someone out there. I mean, this could be art. It could be, you know, something creative as well. So it doesn't have to be like a physical, tangible item, but it can be. Please apply it to your personal circumstances. If some of you are currently out of work and you're looking for a job, I definitely see one coming on in. I see that you've had to wait patiently. I feel like you're going to have 2 interviews. One is in a very toxic environment. you're going to intuitively know that actually, I don't want to work here, okay? Be really mindful on how people talk to each other, because the Temperance card is in the resistance position. Two people having a conversation. If you go for an interview, you may overhear a conversation between two people who work there. It is going to be super negative, okay? And this is an indication of how they feel about the environment, because that's the environment that it kind of like breeds that kind of dissatisfaction and like low workers' morale, no support. Now, of course, if you really need a job in the interim, it could be something that you could use as a stepping stone, but know that actually it's going to drain your energy. And a lot of you are more qualified than the role itself, and they may try to offer you less money than you truly deserve and desire. However, I feel like there is an alternative interview coming along that you feel like this is it, this is the right one. I mean, you just feel great when you walk out of that room, out of that meeting. I feel like you will have a second stage interview with someone who's more senior before you bag the deal. So it's like, I see 2 interviews for the right role, and everybody loves you, okay? And the role is yours. So I feel like it's something that does have like an integrated feel, but somehow I feel, again, you're removed. It just feels like you're either in a high status role, or you have to physically move to where people are at to actually get involved in stuff. But they welcome you. I feel like you are part of a team and you get to evolve in this role and rise through the ranks. So great opportunity there. Now let's remove this energy from career. I do see that your reputation's coming on in. I do see some of you, you know, if you're hoping for a promotion, a lot of you may have to go elsewhere for a promotion. I do see small amounts of energy coming through that you may get a role within your company, but it requires someone to leave, okay? Because there's going to be a reshuffle. But it could be something that's on the table or discussed in the month of April. So let's bring it back to the Emperor energy. This is about you focusing on repayment plans, your responsibilities. If you're a parent, for example, as well, it could be for some of you that there is a milestone happening in your life. So it could be that either your children are going off to college, or your child is going off to college, or, you know, they're going into the next grade of school, or, you know, you're kind of like watching them grow, and it is kind of like you making plans for their future, and it's kind of like also you allowing them to be the adult that they're becoming. So it could be that you're watching this person like be more independent or push back for more independence, especially if you have a teenager. You know, that devil card can indicate that you're navigating some challenging hormonal shifts, okay, which could lead to some disruption. So I would say here that you're being really patient with this person. You're listening to what they have to say. Sometimes it's exhausting, of course, because the Hermit is like, I'm so exhausted with this. So you may kind of like temporarily withdraw when they're having like some sort of like outburst or mood. Okay. And I feel this gives them thinking time, and it gives both parties time to calm down, because when you're both at loggerheads and like fighting it out, which sometimes it happens, you know, people push each other's buttons, especially because they care, right? So I feel it gives thinking time, and then your child or your teenager is actually going to come towards you and try to rectify the situation. I feel like it gives them thinking time to act a little bit more responsibly. Okay, so that's something that's coming through there as well. But, you know, the Emperor energy is basically you kind of successfully either having an idea or being destined for reaching your goals. Now, some of those goals can be to declutter your home space. It can also be to be on target with, you know, a fresh new start. Some of you are literally thinking about moving, because we've got the Fool card and the World card here. So it could be that you are relocating to somewhere else in the world. For some of you, you're migrating a business or having a fresh new start. And because we have like a very mature card here, a lot of you could be thinking about retirement, or you are retired and you're just so looking forward to like having fun, kick back and relax, go traveling. You know, I feel there is this energy and this perception of people who are retiring that they are like fuddy-duddies with no energy. I feel this is when you have the most energy and you're out there, you're zipping through things, you know, you're experiencing like hobbies or activities that you didn't have time for before. So I feel this is where you really come alive, more energized, and April is really going to open you up to new experiences. So it could be like if there's something you like doing, whether you're retired or not, if there's a hobby or something that you like doing that's seasonal, I feel this is the period where it kind of opens up and you're like, yes, I'm back involved in that, whatever that is. It could be like, for some of you, I'm seeing like an operatic singer. So it could be like a choir or singing. Perhaps maybe this is something that you're doing. Some of you could be just joining groups like this in order to integrate yourself more into the community during the month of April. It feels more that you're connecting to things that bring you joy and that you're interested in. So it doesn't have to be like a choir, for example, but I definitely see some sort of integration. Nine of Pentacles, you're on top of, you know, your goals and your finances, or this is something that you're being really strict with at this time. I mean, Nine of Pentacles, financially independent, comfortable. This is something that you're working towards, and I feel this is something that you are going to complete. So you may actually get to save a little bit more money this month. I feel like you have like a reserve fund where you're like, I can't touch that. Okay, because I'm hearing you can't touch this with MC Hammer, is it? You may actually hear that song over the next coming weeks and months that highlight that actually you're building a nice financial reserve. And some of you may actually put it into some sort of like locked off account where you cannot touch it because there's a higher yield on it. Always do your due diligence and make sure that you look into the financial institution and how they're doing right now. You know, even if they're really famous, I would say look at how they're doing. We're in a very volatile financial era, and you know, it's just important because there can be some fluctuations going on there as well. So I don't see anything negative here. Okay, all your outcome energy is super positive, but it's always good to get good advice or do a little bit more digging. Now that Nine of Pentacles indicates that you're going to like reserve more energy for you rather than giving out all of your energy. Being an overgiver is not something that you're doing this month. I feel like you're making sure that you prioritize your own needs there as well. And the Nine of Cups indicates you're wishing for something, but you know that if you want your wish, you have to take action and be organized and get on target. And I see that that is exactly what you're doing. And Nine of Cups, a wish is being delivered to you this month. For some of you, it is a financial windfall or some sort of increase in your acquisitions, some sort of fortune. I mean, if you're in stocks and shares, I don't know anything about that, but I can see a very volatile market right now. So there could be a lot of fluctuations going on. It will temper itself out, especially in and around the 27th, because, you know, a new moon is fresh new energy. It's positive energy, of course. It's about setting things up to amplify. And of course, you know, it's in Taurus. That's all about money. So I would say, you know, this is a great time for things to swell and be positive. But then as we move towards a full moon, then that's about shedding and releasing. So it's like, you know, it could be that it just sets itself up really nicely and then just has a bit of a, you know, a dip, a major dip, let's say, but we'll leave that there. Nine of Cups, I'm getting this energy of just being fulfilled. Okay, you just want to be happy. You want to remove drama. You are trying to live your best life, but you know that you have to kind of be strict with yourself in order to make sure that life runs smoothly. So I feel like you are holding yourself to task, but also you're showing up for yourself, and I feel like your dreams are coming true. You know, you've worked hard for this, and it's not just your money, it's this sense of living. You know, life is for living. It just feels like you want to have more fun, especially with that Fool energy. I feel like you want to be more independent across the board. So some of you, it could be that you're utilizing some opportunity to either work online, create passive income so that you can buy your time back, as it were. Because, you know, the World card can be partnered with the Fool card. You want to be more nomadic, getting businesses online or something that ticks over like passive income so you can be more free. I feel this is something a lot of you are locked onto as a goal to aspire to, and I feel like you're going to reach your goal. But I do see as well with the Hermit energy, a lot of you, it's like you don't want to move into retirement feeling completely drained. So I feel like you're not exhausting yourself. I feel like you're working smarter, not harder. That sentence tends to come up a lot for you, my beautiful Capricorn. Now, of course, it's not all about work. You know, the Devil card can indicate that you're leading with your passions. So the Devil card doesn't have to be a negative card. You know, it can be that you're reigniting your lust for life, that you're trying to recreate that spark. A lot of you are going to return to something that is going to really like fulfill your destiny, shall we say. Something that perhaps has been whispering from the sidelines, from your heart. You should be doing this. Why you're not doing this? I feel this is the April energy where Saturn's highly connected to you, my beautiful Capricorn. It's like being stricter with you so that you can like work hard, play harder. That's the energy I've got here for you. But the Devil card in this position, some of you may have either been worrying about something or feeling stuck in a rut. I mean, you have Wheel of Fortune, you have Temperance. These are major arcana cards. Now, this is a major arcana deck, but this is a full deck, and you still got major arcana cards there. So this tells me that something has been challenging, or it felt very disruptive, or you've been feeling like you have a goal, you're locked onto it with that world energy. And you're going to be very, organized, structured, productive to reach your goals. And there's a lot of success there with this card, but it feels like it was very disruptive to get there, or you've been feeling a little bit like out of control, or you feel that things have not been going your way. It's like every time you connect to something, the universe comes along and says, nope, not that, not that, not that. Often the universe will restructure your life in order to make sure that you're on the right path and connecting to the right things. So I feel like there is better yet to come. So if you feel like you've had some setbacks recently, I do feel that this is a course correction month where some of you are getting back on track, especially with better luck and better energy, because the Devil card is like you feeling more yourself than you have for a long time. The Wheel of Fortune is better opportunity, sporadic moments of being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people. And of course, the Temperance card is you fully locked on to making the right decisions in accordance with your purpose path. So a lot of you, because the Temperance card is also, it's got two people there in love, which that's not what the Temperance card means, but it can be that you're connecting to things that are your idea of fulfillment and love and passion. Things that you love are reflected back to you at this time. So that can be connected to the Temperance card. But if some of you have waited a long time for love, I do see that you will meet a person who's a little bit like either the same age as you or just a little bit older than you. They don't look their age at all, but I feel like, they're really young at heart. And this person, I feel like, they are the world for you and vice versa. I feel like it is kind of like love at first sight. It's a little bit like chaotic trying to get together at first. It feels like both of you are somehow not misaligned, but it can be that either they've got something planned, you've got something planned, and trying to get a date or trying to organize something in the diary for it to work, where both of you are very independent people. You don't want to suddenly give up your whole life to be with a person that you've just met. It's more like, okay, how can I fit you in here? And both of you are like very practical, but also very romantic. So I feel like you make it work. And it may be, a couple of weeks or months before you can actually fully invest in each other. So I do feel that there is love available to you, and a lot of passion. I mean, there is chemistry and it is off the charts. But I would say as well that this will grow into a high-level commitment long-term, and you'll settle down with this person, okay? You'll do a lot of traveling with this person as well. Some of you may actually meet this person traveling, is what I see. But the Temperance card is more about you utilizing your energy in order to kind of like have life running smoothly, connected to your sense of purpose. But also I'm seeing some of you trial something. So I would say right now, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil card, if you're trialing something that you could potentially get locked into eventually through a contract, like for example, if you get like a subscription online to a TV channel, right? You have to pay a subscription fee for this. Maybe it's free for the first 14 days to trial it. And then you're like, okay, yeah, I kind of like it, but I'm not really interested in having it long term. I've watched all the programs I wanted to watch and now I'm just going to disconnect. But if you forget about it because you're so like in your like projects and you're so like distracted with making life run really smoothly for you, there is a potential in April for like a free trial to become something that you get locked into, and you may have to try and negotiate a cooling off period or a disconnect period. So that's coming out there. This is your friendly reminder to do that, okay? Now also, the Devil card, it's not an evil card. It can indicate, of course, that you have identified areas where you've been feeling stuck in your life, or things that have not been positive for you. So you're trying to remove yourself because this is in the resistance position. You're liberating yourself so that you can be more disciplined, so you can be like more locked on to things that are important for you. For example, April is definitely a month where you are removing yourself from excess, okay? Because I feel like you're being stricter with your energy. And the Temperance card can indicate that like hormones come back into balance, or, you know, you identify a vitamin deficiency so that you can be a little bit more like on target with your health goals, for example. Also, I feel something that you've been patiently and impatiently, I want to say actually, and impatiently, because I feel like you've been working really hard towards something and you're like, why is it not working for me? Why is it not showing up? I feel you're going to get some sort of evidence of good news of it showing up for you in April, especially at the end of April. So you can see that you've taken a step that is going to ripple out into you like having evidence of a payoff here. You know, I feel like your dreams are grounded in reality, and a lot of you could be starting a new project or making a first step on something, but you're going to see very quick evidence that actually it's going to work really well for you. Some of you may also have been obsessing over your sense of purpose. You know, these cards, you know, the Wheel of Fortune can be your destiny. The Temperance card is like, have patience. Everything shall be revealed and make sense in due time. And of course, the Devil card, it's all about self because it is Capricorn card. So it can be like, what is my passion? What sets my soul on fire? You know, it can be like an obsessive energy. Now, I am getting this energy of someone who is obsessed with you, okay? I'm going to pull a card on it. But I see someone who is obsessed with you and you're just so fed up with this. I'm not sure why they're obsessed. I mean, of course, it could be that they have romantic feelings for you. I would just say, and, like, I don't want to put it in a way which is like super negative because I feel it's not. It's like someone who could be a pest, right? Someone who is not like a stalker, but someone who kind of like is always there or reaching out or like spying on what you're up to. Or I just see you kind of like removing yourself from this person or detaching, maybe even blocking this person from social media. It just feels like some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have been dealing with a pest or someone who's just not taking no for an answer on something. And I feel like you shut down on this. I feel you free yourself up from this. There's nothing to be cautious about, but I would say that the Hierophant there, we got the Three of Swords and the Devil. Yeah, this person, you know, the Hierophant, I mean, either this person saw a high level relationship with you, or you used to be connected to this person, maybe even married to this person. Three of Swords is like, there was a lot of pain here, a lot of, you know, anger, frustration. We got the Devil card, which is they're obsessed with you. Okay, so if you have to let someone down, I would say do it really diplomatically, because sometimes shutting something down really quick, whilst it is the thing that is right and should be done, sometimes people can take that weirdly. You know, shutting something down real quick can be detrimental to the pathway ahead. I'm not seeing anything negative here, but it almost fuels an anger that you perhaps don't want, because it can be that this person ends up trolling you, for example, or finding a way to do that. So random, this message. I don't get messages like this at all, ever, really, but I am picking up on someone who's a little bit obsessed. If you like delicately or diplomatically kind of like tell this person you're not interested, okay, or perhaps say you have somebody else that you're with, and, you know, whilst they're wonderful, it's not something that you want to connect to right now. You know, it's not you, it's me kind of energy, then I feel it would be a much more positive outcome. Also, I would say if you are connecting to anything that is involving a contract or something that locks you in long term, because, you know, the Devil can be to like chain yourself to something, whether it's a contract in business, whether it's like a subscription to something, whether it is like a cell phone contract or something. Do your due diligence, okay? Wheel of Fortune, like if you are, I'm getting two energies. One is if you migrate your cell phone to another cell phone provider, for example, there could be a lot of complications with this. So it could be very disruptive. Like it's supposed to be like a smooth process. So it's like, okay, on this date, round about this time, your contract will be removed from one company to another, and you can just bring all your like contacts over. But it could be very disruptive. It could actually be like, oh, there was a glitch. It didn't recognize the new number. We're trying to save your old number. It just feels like it's messy. So just check something out. Make sure you get everything in writing, especially if it's a contract that's going to lock you in long term, because there is a potential with that Three of Swords and the Devil card of someone trying to renege on something, or they set it up wrong and it's their fault. But if you don't have a receipt or you don't have a contract or evidence, it can be that it falls to you and you lose out. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there as well, because the Hierophant is like a contract. Devil card, it's binding. Three of Swords, it could be a headache. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there as well. I mean, I kind of pick up the energy here with the Hierophant. It's like you are kind of like being strict with yourself, and you're trying to limit things that hurt you or cause you disruption. That's the main energy of the whole month. Okay, so I feel like you'll sort everything out at the end of the month. It'll all be fine, but it's most important to get things in writing or get receipts for things, because you may need to take something back or send it back. And the sender may be like, nope, not taking it back, not taking it back. So you may have to like push a little bit forward for it. Now, of course, the Wheel of Fortune energy, it is in the resistance position at first, but it will go into the upright. And this means that if you've been having a run of negative energy or chaos or, bad luck, I definitely see here that better luck is to come. If you've been feeling stuck in a rut, I feel like you liberate yourself and suddenly you're focused completely on your sense of purpose. You're like locked on and energized. And the Fool card, it is a fresh new start. It's leaping into the unknown. It's taking a leap of faith because you trust the process. I mean, you've got all the knowledge to set yourself up to make some sort of change. And the Fool card can represent many different new starts. It doesn't have to be that you're like moving property, but I do see some of you are relocating. For some of you, it could be moving jobs. It could also be just moving a department. It could be that you have some new people coming into your working environment who are maybe younger than you, and they think they know it all, and they're causing some sort of disruption, trying to implement some maverick new ways, but actually the old way is better. And over time, you'll see that. And I feel like you're someone who's experienced enough to see people come and go because they're frustrated. They don't have the qualifications or the skills, and they're trying to fast track. And you're like, no, I'm out here shining all by myself because I've got the skill set, I've got the knowledge, I know what I'm doing. So it can be things like that. It could also be that you're, trialing some new training, or you are trying out new exercise routines, or like new recipes, or just new things. This is you being curious about things that you have not tried before. So I definitely see at the end of the month it's very explorative, but I feel with that fifth house, it is a pursuit of pleasure, letting your hair down, being more playful, coming out of a comfort zone. I mean, a lot of you are going to launch some really wonderful things that will have a ripple effect for your future during this month. Very prosperous indeed. But I feel there's something exciting about to happen for you. You're on the precipice of change. You've done all the hard work for something, and now it's like letting it fly, and it's going to be wonderful. So even if you've been hitting the gym so hard, you're going to see evidence that actually you're making a difference. You can see the evidence, for yourself. It feels like it's something that you're going to maintain and sustain. Now, with the Fool card energy, it means some sort of risk. Okay, so it could be like a financial risk. It could be, a calculated risk. I feel like with the Fool card and the Hermit there, I feel like there's this energy of you kind of like feeling a little bit fed up of like whimsy, if that makes sense. It's like you're not taking risks. You're someone who has a lot of knowledge, and you've backed it up with investigation and structure, and you've done all the hard work. So it could be that you deal with someone in the month of April who says, oh, you're just so lucky. And you're like, excuse me, I'm not lucky. You don't know how much hard work goes into what I do. I'm regimented with my time. I'm regimented with my energy. You're the person who works really hard, long hours, or you work in a certain way where you get it done, and then you allow yourself to go out there and have fun. And of course, I see you like tapping into your playful side this month, but you could be a little bit incensed by someone who kind of suggests that, you're just in the right place in the right time and you're just lucky. And you're like, no, I've prepared for this moment. The fact that the opportunity has arisen you know, is wonderful, but you're prepared. So many people miss good luck or opportunity because they're not ready, but you're so ready for this success and this good luck, okay? Also, the Fool card indicates fresh new ideas, new adventures. You know, it's that inner child embracing that playful side where you're wondering, what if I took this next step? What if I do this? I mean, new relationships will form during this time, friendships as well. So with this Hermit energy though, I feel there is going to be like this balance between going out there, having fun, being super energized, and then of course feeling really exhausted. So I feel it's important to have balance, and that's why you've got that Temperance card right there. But the Hermit can indicate a lot of you are withdrawing to do something you like to do by yourself. Independent, free travel. Some of you may be traveling solo at the end of the month, or some of you are like locked onto your goals and like traveling at the end of them, having a vacation where you can like remove yourself from challenge or work, or, you know, thinking about the humdrum of life. I feel like you are kind of like distancing yourself from things that have been pressurizing, stressful, and with that Hermit energy, you're going to remain energized because this is maturing. Maturing is knowing which battles to choose. Maturing is knowing when something is just not worth your time to get involved in, the drama, okay? Maturing is saying, okay, you know what, I'm fed up, I'm leaving. Okay, that's too much. So it feels very much like you are kind of honoring your time by withdrawing from things that just drain your energy or do not bring you joy. I would also say the end of the month, there's a lot of soul searching going on. This is a very reflective card, and the fifth house can indicate you really tapping into wanting to revamp your life. You know, it's about you withdrawing for creative projects or just like going inwards for truth, getting to know yourself a little bit more, being more reflective, connecting to your higher self, gaining enlightenment. You know, this is a card of new knowledge. So a lot of you could be learning new gadgets or, you know, new technology, keeping up with the trends, as it were, of our time to stay ahead of like news or, you know, just like apps and things like that. So I see like new technologies, you learning new things or getting new tools for something that's going to help you with your endeavors, whether that's like doing some gardening or whether it is, you know, being online, for example. I feel a lot of you with that Hermit energy and the Fool card, something may have taken a long time to launch or be ready to like reveal there, but it's going to be so worth it. So I do see with that World card energy, something is complete, something is like successful, and I feel there is also this energy coming through where someone who's younger than you may come towards you for advice. Okay, I feel like you've got the knowledge of, you know, the kind of situation, and you know how to give this person advice. It's like you give this person advice so that they can avoid a pitfall. I mean, for some of you, especially with that Emperor energy and the Hermit, you are a natural mentor. You know, you have so much intelligence, both acquired knowledge and natural abilities, that you could be a mentor. Some of you may be a teacher, or you may be deciding to go into mentoring. You may also have like a lot of knowledge about either a skill set where you can create a handbook or an online course, or it could be that you're retired and you're writing a novel about your experiences because you've got a lot of journey cards here. And it can be something that brings in second streams of, you know, money or even like passive income there as well. But the World card is travel. It's also balance, all energies being in balance. So at the end of the month, I definitely see like hormonally, things will be a little bit more in balance for you, but also it's like a fresh new cycle. You're completing something and on to the next. You're feeling lighter because of it. And, you know, this is a pathway to more abundance flowing towards you. This card, you know, can indicate some sort of like certification, qualification after a test as well. So I definitely see here that you're making progress, you're on top of your goals, and there's a lot of abundance attached to this card as well. But it was hard work to get there. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but I feel like you made it so structured, and you honored your time to the point where you know, should feel really proud of yourself that you got it done. And I do see at the end of the month, you're a little bit exhausted, so just watch that. A vacation will help you replenish your energy there. If you're trying to be more nomadic or take a sabbatical, for example, as well, take some time out, I definitely see that it gives you time to really reflect on who you are, your path, and your prosperity. We've got solidity, inner core. Yeah, very cerebral, a lot of inner thinking. You're trying to protect your inner thoughts. As you can see, there's a dove flying out of, you know, this, well, there's two figures there, but it's almost like a heart in the center. So it's like you trying to find peace of mind. The world, of course, is a very chaotic place. So it can be that you're trying not to overthink things. You're trying to really focus on your projects to help you move forward and put yourself in a really strong foundation to weather any changes that occur in the world. You know, a lot of you with that Emperor energy, you're protecting all that you've worked for as well. You're protecting your dreams. You're not allowing anyone to dissuade you or disrupt your path. And, you know, this card, inner core, you're doing a lot of inner thinking. It's number 18 there, which is the moon energy, which means things are going to show up for you that are connected to your dreams unexpectedly. But also it means you're staying constant in your endeavors. You're not stopping progress this month. You're seeking people who are reliable and solid because you are one of those people. And your greatest power is from the inside out. And that's why you're protecting your goals, your dreams, and your inner peace at this time. And also we have expansion north. So travel, expanding on opportunities, expanding your abundance, multiplying your wealth. These are all things that you are thinking about, but you're also bringing about. You're taking action to make this happen for you. I mean, some of you may, as I said, be expanding your reach, whether it's online or in your industry. Your reputation is growing, but also this could be you looking at the world and seeing where you belong. You know, this is a card of adventure. It's number one. You're prioritizing your own needs. You're guided to do research and focus on what you feel like you need to overcome in order to get to where you want to go. You know when you get this card. This is your truth. This is your true north, to be brave, to be bold, and put one foot in front of the other to make it happen. You know, we have many purposes in life, not just one single one. And I feel this is a time for true adventure, to explore your options, take that first step, and it will be the ripple effect to all that you desire. Because this is a card of abundance and expansion and opportunity. And I feel like you're growing your reach, whether that's in your like inner circle, your friendship circle, whether it is, you know, in terms of your business, whether it's in terms of how you feel. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a ring before we close. Okay. We have, I'm loving that. We've got the word happy, so that definitely came out in your reading. You just want to be happy. You're just identifying things that bring you joy. This is going to be a very happy month for you. You're going to completely be like impressing yourself. You know, it's almost like you're in competition with yourself to self-improve or be better than you were yesterday. And I really feel like you're going from strength to strength. We've also got the butterfly, which means transformation. It means that you're setting yourself free to fly. And it can be that you're flitting from different things. You know, variety is the spice of life. So I really feel a very sociable time upon you at the end of the month. But the butterfly indicates you went through a very challenging transformation to be who you are right now. And there is more abundance along the way. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses, is what I just heard, okay? I'm being given a sentence, very famous sentence from a movie. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But I feel it's going to be a sweet one no matter what. But I feel like you're prepared for every eventuality. So you're prepared for everything because you've learned to be prepared. But at the same time, I don't see any cause for negativity or like kind of like preempting something negative, because I see a lot of positive things for you to come there. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn, and love and light.